there's a bit of like, well, what does this woman actually stand for? Is this more of the same with Joe Biden? Is she even more radical than Joe? Than his administration has been? She hasn't got a great track record when it comes to anything that she's really done, and I wonder if it's better the devil you know. Really, ultimately, will people kind of think, well, at least I kind of know everything about Donald Trump. I know where he stands on certain things, and maybe we'll just go for the less risky option here.
Welcome to the Debriefs, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Bedford, and I'm here with Managing Editor Chris Irvine.
Hi.
Chris, the two conventions are now over, and the next sort of set piece in the election, a few weeks away, is the debate. Do we see some sort of Cold War? Do we see it sort of stagnate till then? What do you think happens in this next phase?
Yeah, well, I hope for everybody's sanity we see a little bit of stagnation for a couple of weeks. I think it's just been so relentless of the Trump assassination, attempted assassination, Biden dropping out, Kamala coming in, the conventions, Tim Walz coming in, lying about everything. I hope it settles for a couple of weeks and everybody kind of gets their breath back and just sort of actually takes stock of who these two candidates are. Still feel like, look, by the time we're recording this before Harris's speech, I don't feel the vast majority of people know who she is. So, I mean, I guess that's her role tonight to go and say who she is, but will that then subsequently matter in the next couple of weeks? I feel I assume what will happen is there'll be a bit of a bounce. She has that bounce just now, and she's slightly ahead. But then once all the kind of Democratic euphoria it sort of settles down, will it then be as you were, and Trump's actually the favorite still? And I guess hopefully we're heading into Labor Day. Hopefully it'll be a little bit quieter, but then we'll see what happens with the debate.
Yeah, is it possible that this is the high watermark for her? She's had no stumbles because she hasn't exposed herself to the opportunity to have one. The excitement is still there, the relief that Biden isn't the standard bearer for Democrats. So is it possible that this is the best she'll ever be? And then is that bad news for her because it's a tie when it's...
I think it's entirely possible. I mean, I think we've already started to see some pushback from unlikely sources in the mainstream legacy media on some of her policies. I think there is, now that the kind of high is wearing off a little bit, there's a bit of like, well, what does this woman actually stand for? Is this more of the same with Joe Biden? Is she even more radical than Joe? Than his administration has been? She hasn't got a great track record when it comes to anything that she's really done. And I wonder if, it's better the devil you know, really. Ultimately, will people kind of think, well, at least I kind of know everything about Donald Trump. I know where he stands on certain things, and maybe we'll just go for the less risky option here. But I can't imagine why it wouldn't be anything but a high water mark. We'll see how the speech goes. I will be curious to see how she does in the debate. Maybe that will give her another bounce, but we all sort of said, hey, Joe Biden just needs to stand upright during the debate, and that should serve him well. And then, well, we all know what happens. So if she has a disastrous night or a poor night, then who's to say that Trump won't pull away again?
Do you think the pressure will change on her to start doing more unscripted events, press conferences, interviews, because there hasn't been really any demand for that from the legacy media or really from Democratic voters? Do you think that changes?
Yeah, I mean, look, there has to at some point. She's going to have to do something, and I'm not just saying that as kind of, I know the media gets very kind of wrapped up in their own self-importance at times, but there has to be some level of accountability, and whether that be in a press conference or whether it be a one-on-one, even if it's a sit-down interview with somebody like George Stephanopoulos again, there really hasn't been anything. And okay, you can praise her in her campaign for being very on message and very disciplined, but there's really not much substance there. So she's going to have to, at some point, answer some difficult questions. And if the media doesn't do it, then Trump will do it in the first debate, and then we'll really see. If I was her, I would try and get ahead of that and do the interview first, and she has said that she's going to do one before the end of the month. But I think she really needs to kind of pick her battles. And to Trump's credit, and sometimes this goes two ways with Trump because he can overexpose himself, but he's going on podcasts of, you know, unusual people like Theo Vaughn, for example, the comedian, and kind of went viral for that. Actually had some really kind of insightful moments there. And he is doing that. Doesn't always work for him, but at least he's doing it. And he's kind of saying, I got nothing to hide here.
Quite a contrast, I guess, with Kamala.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for being here today. You can get more reporting from Chris and the rest of the political team at washingtonexaminer.com.